next playthrough for the channel. Let's do this. Alright, so that's the intro. So you already not cleared the other one, so might as well do the sequel real quick for a bit on the channel. Um, but yeah, it got English patched years ago and I forgot about it. But then it turns out that I have it, so might as well go through it. Um, Aside from that, it should be an interesting game since it improves upon it. It's like Monolith Soft style where the first game is decent, but in the second game it improves vastly on the first. It's like how they always do things. It's also the Super Raw War style, basically, where the sequel always reuses as well as improves upon what the original did. Another interesting fact was Nana Mizuki, the voice actress for the what's her name for the elf girl. Anyways, the voice actress sung the opening. She's also the voice actress of Hinata from Naruto, so it should be interesting. The goal is to get through this game, do the dungeon and everything, and then continue on with everything else. Since, yeah. Alright. Unknown Infinite Settlement, there's a weird named Deathless Frontier. It is a strange place where portals called cross gates act as dimensional barriers separating and connecting a myriad of worlds. Lost Frontier, a world with advanced robotics technology. Kagura Agamara, a world where humans and only live in harmony with nature. Elftown Nudopolis, a mystical land where elves and beastmen coexist. Formidaheim, a land of the skies where demons thrive. Veronica and I, a place where aquatic life forms dwell at the bottom of the sea. Various worlds appeal together, even time between the worlds was merged. Unknown Infinite Settlement. But, who created such a world? Yeah, this time I was actually prepared to read. The creators of the Cross Gates, who also connected many worlds, were beings from a strange land. They were the Einst. Just when and why this massive presence alighted on the world, no one knows. But wanting to return to their own home, they continued to open the Cross Gates for time eternal. Through their actions, they connected a multitude of worlds and gave birth to the Endless Frontier. However, with the passage of time, the Ainz began unable to open the gate to their own world. Their numbers dwindled. Panic set in, and they began to lay their hands on the Endless Frontier that they had created. They shed off bits of their own bodies which formed the Malkau crystals across various worlds. Their energy to stabilize cross gates. This energy is strong enough to bend space-time and send most of the elves of Elfenseal to a different world. Additionally, holes in space-time called fluxes start to appear, creating partial whatever is called special worlds, creating this group of heroes. As ironic as it may be, they defeated the Ainz who had been trying to fix the worlds. That's nice. That was nice. With fall the Irons, the majority of the cross gates disappeared. The power of the collapsing gates was enough to destroy dimensional boundaries, fusing worlds together. Thus, the frontier was renewed into a single world. Denizens of the various worlds decided to work together to survive this new borderless world. However, not only to a handful of people, worlds which didn't belong had also appeared within this fused universe, and the elves, lost in time, have yet to make their return. This is the endless frontier. Yes. Where our story begins anew. Ah, the Shira. The alphabet that looks like.
師匠、ゴーレンのアレディ、アレディナーシュ、長谷さんじました。
Huh. One of the more unique things is this game has actual dialogue, which makes sense because it's an improvement. I see your message. You see you had something to report? Yes, ma'am. First, however, I trust you've been keeping up with your training regimen, aledy? Yes, ma'am. I am now up to 1,000 knuckle push-ups a day. Excellent. There's great power to be found in a vigorous body and a sharp mind. Make sure to prioritize your training. Yes, mistress. Very well. Let me ask you once more then. I trust you are aware of how this world came to be, aledy? For whatever reason, our Shura kingdom, the Wave Kingdom, was cut into pieces, and those pieces ended up in this world. Makes sense. Which means the ones that Folka and the others are from is probably a different tribe than the ones that are from here. Yes, during the war, and what of them? Can you tell me what became of them, or where they might have gone? No, I still can't say. However, regarding what kind of place this world actually is, I found something that might give some insight. Lady Princess Neige, please join us. Ah, our heroine. And an elf whose fan service is side cleavage, and she's voiced by Hinata's voice actress. That's a deadly combination. So you're Princess Neige. I suppose you're the one who will provide us with this insight? Well, it doesn't have to do with me personally, rather, with my people, the elves. Please elaborate. Of course. Keep in mind that this is still firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think this world is an unknown infinite settlement, the endless frontier. What do you mean? So, Lady Princess Neige, you're saying the world we're currently in is... Yes, I suppose you're right. Our home. The homeland of the elves. Are you serious? Can you offer any proof of this? I spent some time gaining a sense of the lay of the land with aledy here. Some way to the east of here, we found a huge, no, enormous tank. Oh yeah, we crashed that thing. I see a tank, as in a vessel of war? Perhaps this weapon was left behind by them? Our enemies from the war? I'm afraid you're mistaken, Lady Cindy. I can tell you at least that it was not left behind by an invading army. I remember seeing it 3 years ago, before we elves breached the boundaries of our own dimension and traveled to your Wave Kingdom. I saw it as the flames of war ravaged my own kingdom, Alphatale. The horrors of war. Be that as it may, I take it this tank you speak of belongs to your enemies then? Yes, it's just like the weapons they used against us in their invasion, or at least a very similar model. So their enemies had cat tanks. I like that. Just after the war ended, we were suddenly thrown into this world. I don't know what became of them after that. Well, we still have no way of knowing how you elves were transported to our kingdom. This tank can still hold important clues as to the nature of this place. Princess Neige, would you mind telling us in some more detail about this war you fought? Oh yeah, the war for Niflheim from 10 years ago. The 10-year war. It all began with a unilateral declaration of war from Formidolheim, a world of demons. But it looks like they pronounced it as Formidheim. Translation is always a tough thing, so I can't blame them if it's Formido or Formidheim. After that, we had to endure 10 long years of war. I took up the spear myself and fought on the front lines. We had no idea why they went to war with us, or what they had hoped to achieve, and so we had no choice but to fight for our lives. This time left me with nothing but bitter memories. Lady Princess Neige, Just one more question, if I may. Why do you view battle as a tragedy? Humanity evolved through a hard struggle for existence. Evolution is the path to godhood. The strong, the survivors, are the ones who tread the true path. With that in mind, while I fully accept that you sure might view the world that way, there are other races who take no pleasure in fighting and violence. Hmm, very well. Tell us then, how did your long struggle come to an end? The war started unilaterally, and it ended the same way. By which you mean to say that your enemies ended it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. We received a message from Itohain. As our king has fallen in battle, we admit defeat and withdraw our forces. It was proclaimed by Aslo Granada, the leader of a special forces strike team from Formidoheim. Yeah, I'm still calling it Formidoheim. Considering you managed to take the enemy king's head, I dare to say it was your well-earned victory. That's right. Surely unilateral isn't the right expression here. We have no idea who took out the enemy king. What? Oh yeah, it was Skullface himself. The war wasn't going in our favor. There's no way our army would have been able to infiltrate Formidoheim. For one thing, the enemy had massively, very powerful mechanical soldiers at their command, creating using technology from another world. Oh yeah, the notch then the bend. Bro, I spammed their attacks. Would these soldiers be comparable to the Mecha Rakshas we sure are using? I'd say so. They're about 3 meters tall, made of steel, humanoid shape. We deployed our own mecha fairies, however they were few in number compared to the enemy mechanical forces. I still don't know where my personal machine ended up. However, if this really is the endless frontier, then... Thank you very much. Princess Neige, an intriguing tale. Now, there is a matter I need to discuss with you as well. I'm listening, mistress. It concerns Achan, one of the mecha Rakshasas I mentioned earlier. Hmm? Is there anything wrong? Archon, I'm sorry, could you please fill me in? Archon is plainly visible right in front of us. That ginormous statue? I'm looking closely, but as far as I can tell, it's all stone. Logically enough, this is a stone statue depicting Archon, or Archon. The Mecha Rakshasas Archon, it is the guardian deity of this Dragon Dominion Tower, the Supreme Rakshasas. It is enshrined at the top of the tower, or rather, was enshrined to be precise. I just realized there's no music. Is there? No, no music's coming out of the 3DS. Huh. Mistress, I don't believe this. Archon has left the tower? Hmm. Take a look at this. Huh? Black crystal, black crystals, or rather, jewels? They weren't there before. Those look like Macau rocks. You know what they are? Like Prince Neige, were these rocks present in your kingdom? They certainly resemble the crystals that enveloped the Spina Castle, just before we were expelled from the Echoless frontier. The color and shape is different, though. What is this? Mistress, where did these jewels or whatever they are come from? I cannot answer that. However, I know they appeared a few days ago. No matter what methods I employ, they cannot be broken. A mysterious substance indeed. Can this be related to Archon's disappearance? If my suspicion is supposition... Wow. Wouldn't that be suspicion? Ah well. If my suspicion is correct, Archon left the tower and somehow completely disappeared. This black crystalline substance made its appearance at the same time. It is a distinct possibility. But there should be anyone here now who could operate Archon. Why? Operate? What do you mean? Mecha Rakshasas are autonomous weapon systems. They gain power and self-awareness from their operator's willpower or spiritual energy. Or put it another way, someone who doesn't have the appropriate willpower can't operate one. A weapon controlled by willpower? I see. So how did this Rakshasa manage to leave on its own then? There's but a single possibility that comes to mind. There's someone, or someones in this world possessed of the required willpower to awaken Archon, or at least a similar power. Do you think someone for this world would be able to do that? I'm sure it's connected to these black crystals somehow. Perhaps it is through them they channel this power? I can feel that, lady. These rocks are not simple minerals. They are, for lack of a better word, alive. Living rocks. with mysterious power. Supposing these are really malcalcrete rocks, and this is the endless frontier, then it's bound to be related somehow to the fact that we were thrown into the Wave Kingdom before, and that we're here again now. There's so much dialogue. Honed Steel Aledy. I have new orders for you. At your service, mistress. I want you to track down the Mecha Rakshasa Archon. Furthermore, I want you to take control of Archon using your willpower. Me? Mistress, this Rakshasa is much better suited for you. My willpower is not nearly developed enough, and you have studied Haoken all your life, and I have taught you the ways of Kishinken. At the moment, you are indeed lacking experience. However, you lack for nothing else. You have a steep curve of learning ahead of you. Do not ever neglect your training, aledy. Do not bring shame on your title. Yes, mistress. I do apologize for interrupting such a lovely conversation. Is there any chance you would consider my request as well? I am the one who should apologize, Princess Neige. Please, by all means. If we really are on the endless frontier, I had to embark on a journey of my own. I need to find out what happened to my homeland, Spina Castle. Could I ask you to kindly lend me some of your sure warriors to accompany me for protection? I see. I suppose your path could prove perilous. What kind of guardian do you desire? Let's see. They'd all have to be young and handsome, of course. A dependable older brother type could be nice. Or maybe the strong and silent type. I wouldn't mind a cute younger boy either. You know, like a little brother. So you could put together a group along those lines. I think this could be a really fun trip. Understood. Worry not, Princess. I have some very suitable personnel to place at your disposal. Aledy, track down Archon, and in addition, you are to accompany Princess Neige to her home castle. Ma'am. What? Excuse me, Lady Cindy. What about the older brother type I mentioned? Or the cute little brother? Although Aledy is inexperienced, he is certainly a dependable, sure warrior. When he pushes himself to the limits during his training sessions, I'm sure he keeps silent even though he worries about his own capabilities. He's 17 years old. Surely he could be considered a little brother next to you, Princess. And finally, though this is but the personal musing of his teacher, I would say he is certainly handsome. Wow. Mistress, do you consider me handsome? In the sense that you have been blessed with a set of rather pleasant facial features, yes. Oh, he blushes. In any case, I'm not sure I'm sufficiently trained for this. Well, what is the matter? If you prefer, I can introduce you to some very proficient practitioners of Haoken and Kishinken schools. No, that'll not be necessary. I apologize. As you wish. Yeah. Alright then. Looks like I have my orders. I'll be going now, mistress. It's not exactly what I hoped for, but I'll go with you. If you ever need a rest, please do not hesitate to return here. I also have a small parting gift to help you on your journey. I have prepared this package of assorted potions and cures. Please take it. We're very grateful, mistress. Fine. Then, I pray that the stars of death and disaster do not shine down on you. Ma'am. Japanese dialogue. Alright. So, yeah, we got Neige. Yeah. So unlike with others, what's A spot? Yeah. So just like with the other one, I chose what's called B button to run, and put in an EXP and money multiplier for now, so I can lessen grinding. Live for battle, die in battle. That is the creed of redemption and struggle, the inescapable burden of all the Shura. However, we are flying from the flames of war into this unknown infinite settlement. Aledy, it seems to me this beautiful elven princess managed to move your hitherto stoic heart. Then there's the Mecha Rakshasa Archon, unresponsive to all who do not possess great willpower. Aledy, make good use of the opportunity represented by this journey to forge your own path as a true Shura warrior. Oh, she has to ask him something. She's annoyed that he's her bodyguard.
かも羅刹鬼を追いかけるついでになどと。
Dang. Well, she's not wrong. She's a princess that just got relegated to a side job.
そう申されましてもネージュ姫殿、これは我が師
And he's not
シン
wrong.
ディバードが
His
決めた
boss,
こと
his
です。
mistress, is the one who gave him this job.
私は与えられた自分の使命を果たすだけです。そしてこれも互いに良い修練になると思います。
でもまああなたがこの数年間頑張っていたのは事実。別に特にあなたがいいというわけではありませんが
Dang, she's mean.
護衛の件最後まで投げ出さないようにね。
お任せください。このゴーレンのアレディ、この命に変えても全うしてみせます。
Oh, she's a tsundere. I like the fact that he calls himself Hone Steel Aledy. The Shura and the Princess. Ha! It's like the Beauty and the Beast. That's just funny. That's just plain funny. Alright, so on the world map, you guys play a world mini-map on the bottom screen. This map shows the position of your character, dungeons, towns, and ports. Okay. Oh, cool. Let's go this way. The tank. Here's already the kitty tank. As I thought, it looks very similar to the mold tank that Formidahan used to attack Alphatail during the 10-year war, the giant Marquise. Huh? It appears to have been completely stopped, yet when we saw it before, it was moving at a considerable speed. Nevertheless, it looks far from a weapon right now. Isn't that a city on its back? Well, during the war, it was used as a military base, but you're right, looking at it from here, it certainly looks different. Even the face of the tank. It looks like it's been remade to look super cute. Should we get closer to confirm its nature, Lady Princess Neige? Is this alright? Shouldn't we follow the track of the Carpon for now? It's called Archon. Also, the way things currently stand, we have no idea where to even start looking for it. The only thing we can do now is to run around trying to find it. Besides, it'll be some good training for us. You sure have an exhausting lifestyle. Oh well, rather than getting hung up on words, let's investigate that giant Marquise-like tank. So let's go to it. Oh, so you can actually enter it? Okay. Actually, let's save. Okay, so you actually have different sets you can use now. Cool. Ooh, we have some actual HP stuff. Okay. I'm liking this. This place is rather dilapidated, I would say. However, what's the matter, aledy? A lot of this damage seems more recent than I would have expected. In other words, someone's been through here ahead of us. Exactly. We should break through the rubble and proceed. Yeah. So it's like his own version, and if it's breakable, you'll destroy it. Of course, you already know the usual stuff. So it's like with him and his revolving stake. Hey, Prince Neige, be on your guard, please. What's wrong all of a sudden? I sense a presence nearby, or rather, willpower. Most likely a Shura. One of your people then? I must remind you that before our relocation here, we were people frequently at war with one another. Ah yeah, that might not be friendly. Like that, what was it again? Derma? Gerda, mistress of the iceberg prison. Gerda Mirror. While we're on the subject, I wonder what happened to her and her underlings. It's already been several months since we came to this world. I don't believe they've been twiddling their thumbs that long, am I right? It is true that there have been attacks on the Dragon Dominion Tower, which is under the protection of my mistress. And with the presence of other Shura here, yes, it is very probable she and her people have also come to this world. And that is indeed the case if Gerda Mirror or Frozmira Gerda is here. Then sooner or later I will have to face her and her right-hand man in a decisive battle. Dang, so anime-like. Your right-hand man too? Oh, come on, aledy. No need to fret like that. Once you get out of here, I'll give him a beating on your behalf that you won't forget anytime soon. In any case, this is simply another step on my path of training. Please come, let us go into battle. I'm right behind you. It's been a while. It's time to show you the true power of my spear. Face Layer. No, I know combat. Dang it. Oh, they didn't translate to the actual... Well, it makes sense. I try to remember what this one was. Okay, so it's basically a modified variation of the original combat system. And that's a Shura soldier. Dang, the damage he did. At least that kills him. So it looks like it's 15% per attack per people until I get my supports in. I'm sure these Shura and Beastmen fight under Gerda's banner. Do you think these Shura were the ones who did a number on this tank? I don't know, but there's no way to say for sure. The damage would suggest an attacker wielding formidable force. Yes, this could be the result of a higher Mega Rakshasa running out of control. Aledy, hold on. That would mean, but my guess is correct. We would also have a good explanation for the presence of Gerda's men here. She is Aether Archon, originally housed at the very top of the Dragon Dominion Tower. We're in luck then, if we figured them out already. It is still too early to say for sure. I need to confirm this properly. Time to move. Oh yeah, it is. So now that we gotta just go straight through everything. We got this. Yeah, keep on going. Turns out grinding is a thing, luckily. Let's check around. Dang it. You're good for now. Hey, when your fists are the answer. Fists are the answer. I'm that good. I remember that's Folka's theme from OG Gaiden. Press switch, it looks like you'll be able to make way back where you just came from. Might as well. Yeah. So you think the path at least. Well, boss battle. Wait. Yeah. Random items. I'm not worried about them. See straight, dang it. Time for a boss. Hopefully. Oh yeah, the whole stupid climb thing. The crystal ball. Dang it.
女優がねごきげんよ
And that one's Shine's theme, the Royal Heartbreaker theme. From Super Hot Wars. But it makes sense since she's basically an entire what's
う
called
もう私ごきげんよ
what's called
これか
dang so many drink me's.
華麗にねごきげんよ
Yes. She's a reference to Shine and Litsuni and stuff, as well as her Flea Clyde being a reference to the Fair Lions. Dang it.
そんなに見たいごきげんよ
Or wait.
問題ない
Uh-oh. What's this supposed to be? Presumably the engine room. It's in really bad shape. I suppose that's why the tank is just sitting here now. Faint traces of willpower linger here. It seems to me as if this damage was perpetrated very recently. You're saying whoever did this might still be here? Yes, most likely including the Mega Rakshasa I mentioned earlier. Seems like you'll be able to complete your mission early then? That was a lot more straightforward than I thought it'd be. Let's make sure we're prepared for the possibility of a battle before we leave this engine room. And of course, oh! Hey, it's like the first game. Except this time I don't have crazy status effects to kill me.
あのままカサカサになるまで出られないかと思っちゃった。
ん？
あ、君のその服、さっき暴れてたロボットの仲間だね。このキヨンフーリオンが退治しちゃうんだから。
Robot? What are you talking about? Someone's been living under a rock, it seems. You got stuck under there during the attack? Yep, there's no stopping that robot once it went berserk. Lady Kyon, that was your name, correct? About this robot entity you saw. Did it have red and black patterns on its body with long white hair? Yeah. Didn't have any weapons either. It did all this with just punches and kicks. Then I got stuck under some falling rubble. I thought I was done for. Lady, I see the suit of armor for my mistress. It bears the name Roaring Demon. I was told it was made to resemble the markings on Archon's frame, which means the robot this little witch girl ran into is, indeed, taken together with other traits she described, there could be no doubt. Must have been the Mecha Rakshasa, Archon. Now that we know, there's just one thing left for us to do, right? We go get it. Wait a minute, I'm not letting you pass without even telling me anything. Just who are you guys anyway? We have no idea whether you're a friend or foe. Why should we tell you anything about ourselves? Don't be like that. I even gave you my name already. I feel like I've seen that jacket somewhere before. In any case, it's clear that you're connected to that robot somehow. So that means we're enemies. That's it. I made up my mind. You're intruders. I'm gonna give you the boot. Go ahead and try it if you want. Aledy, hope you can show me some of that sure perception and suss out her weak points. If we manage to grab hold of her tail, we might gain an advantage. Ugh. Don't you dare touch my tail. Wait, she has a tail? I'll lose my powers. Oh no, they found a weak point right away. These sure are really scary. Ha 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 ha. Now that you've seen the light, you better start talking. Come on, tell us everything. Please, could you give us some information about the mechanical fighter who caused all this devastation? Bullies? Meanies? Forget it. No way. Lady, you need a proper bra, and you, that stupid top knot makes you look like a bomb went off in your hair. Proper bra. Ain't wrong, but fan service is fan service. A bomb? I think I'm gonna let you go even if you give up. I won't go easy on you. No, I'll turn the tables. Make it tell me all about that robot. How do you like that, huh? She has a tail? Oh, she does have a tail. Alright, so it's Kyon again. Let's do it.
だってご覚悟はよろしくね。これぞ王家の最大奥義。ベースレイヤーフルダイブ。ベースレイヤーフルバースト。
Dear God, John Talbot would be proud, or any other tackler in fighting games.
渡すか。集中。
Let's do this.
これぞ豪鉄砲。真の技を。
I gotta figure out how to frame cancel with him.
もらった。空なる縁を切る。渡すか。
Hmm.
新年剣。そこだ。封縁客で決める。見えた。
Yeah.
新豪鉄砲。新年剣。封縁客。
美味しいところいただきよ。はあ。ほら痛い？どう？毒リンゴを送られ。カーマリン。違うことね。ハッベノムコーム。
At least that wasn't hard.
甘くなくてよ。吹っ飛ばすよ。はいだ。ブランテマジック。
Really?
もらった。ちょっと。いや。これがバイバイ。
Let's be thankful she can't do the crazy stats fights that she did last time.
華麗にね。はあ。はい、とどめよ。狩りのお時間よ。危険なリンゴよ。
She's not dying.
爆発。はあ。
There we go. Okay.
とどめよ。
I was kind of worried there for a second there. Yeah, another drink me. Enough already. That hurts. I get buried, I get beaten up, I get stabbed. I can't take it anymore. Our victory is undisputed, but her power is remarkable. You are certainly no ordinary opponent. I've seen jackets like that before from among the demons. You're from Vermiddelheim, aren't you? From the orchestral army, unless I'm mistaken. I remember you said the elves fought the orchestral army during the war. Huh? You're an elf? Seriously? Now that we know who we're dealing with, I suppose I might as well tell you my name. I am Neige Hausen, Princess of Haushausen, who once ruled in northern Elftail. A princess from Elftail? Our enemy during the war? That's what I said. Not very bright, are you? So that means you're back, huh? You're back. The elves who disappeared after the war. When the worlds fused together, you came here. I'm so happy you survived after all. Hey, hold on. You're in an orchestral army. Why are you so happy you survived? What do you mean, the worlds fused together? I thought we were in a world called the Endless Frontier. Oh, lots of stuff happened. Things are a little different now, but yeah, you're basically right. This is the Endless Frontier! It's all a bit complicated. Let's go to Marquise Town, up on the back of this tank. We can talk properly there. I know a shop that sells great sweets there, too. Ooh, I like the sound of that. You know, she'll prefer plain nutritious food. Strict dietary restrictions are of paramount importance to build a strong body. My mistress would allow me a sweet treat once per month, somewhat grudgingly. However, I realize now's the time for this conversation. If Archon truly passed this way, your town might be in danger. Ah, and the sweet shop will be destroyed too. There's no way we can let that happen. The town's just ahead. I'll come with you. Thank you very much, Lady Kyon. Well then, we should hurry. Hey, we got Kyon. Yeah, I know how to use them. Oh, I gotta link them now. Okay, let's see. So now we gotta actually
クラフトがうなるよ。
Flow of insults. That'll be it for now, though. This is the start of a new playthrough, after all. So thank you all for watching. Until the next part to all this. Goodbye.